Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. So I just woke up from a nap. Excuse my tired eyes. I was looking at YouTube and decided I've come across one video. Story of the Japanese Steph Curry, Keisei Tominaga. Okay, I'm gonna watch it and I figured I'll fucking record it because I ain't recording anything else. Let's see what it's about.
Steph Curry.
Shit, my headphones aren't on. See. Let's go.
Steph Curry has revolutionized the game of basketball. His influence reaches all over the world, including the island of Japan, which has its own Steph Curry in Keisei Tominaga. Tominaga is one of the most dynamic and lights-out shooters in Japanese history, and is on the path to playing in the NBA if he can make a couple key adjustments. So let's take a look at the story of the Japanese Steph Curry, Keisei Tominaga, starting off with how Tominaga developed his shooting touch. Number 5. Growing up in Japan. Just like Steph Curry, Keisei Tominaga was born to a family of ballers.
Both parents play basketball when I was young, so I watched them play like when they grow up.
So he plays in Nebraska.
Hiroyuki Tominaga was a 6'11" giant who played professionally for 10 years and was a member of the Japanese national team that competed in the 1998 FIBA World Championship. But Tominaga has a leg up on Curry because not only does he get his basketball genetics from his dad's side, but his mom, Hitomi, also played basketball.
It's amazing to see the dad. He's a 7-footer, and Keisei looks like he got his mother's height.
So it's safe to say that Tominaga was born to get buckets, and that's precisely what he did for the Sakuragaoka Gakuen High School.
Bro, imagine that. Dad being 7 foot and your mom being 4 foot and you don't even make 6. Oh my god.
Tominaga, as a senior, averaged 39.8 points per game at the All-Japan Championships, which is an annual national high school tournament. He earned the reputation of being a scoring machine, and many who watched him play in high school say that his coach had a very simple and straightforward game plan. Give Tominaga the ball and get out of the way. But Tominaga had his eyes set on the NBA. In order to achieve that dream, he would have to follow the footsteps of previous Japanese greats like Rui Hachimura and Yuta Watanabe and move all the way to the other side of the world, away from all the fanfare and accolades, and start from ground zero again. And that's exactly what Tominaga was willing to do as he landed in Texas to play for Ranger College. Number 4. JUCO accomplishments. Tominaga made his Ranger College debut on November 1st, and by the 16th, he had already dropped his season high of 34 points. And by November 28th, Tominaga verbally committed to play for NCAA Division I program Nebraska in the class of 2021. Talk about.
So for those who don't know, majority of the time when you're like an import from any country, like they won't give you a straight in D1 scholarship unless you're like beasting, and I mean beasting, I mean you're eating people with fucking international FIBA shit like that, or if you're just fucking like a 7-footer playing like KD or some shit. Like you gotta be a special type of talent to get in there. Majority of the time, the people who can do that, they don't go to college. They just do MIA for a year and then they apply for the draft. Look at Dante Exum, Luka played professionally. They didn't even try to go to college route. They just went straight either professionally or just stayed MIA and kept their name up high. And so this kid has balls. I think he needs to show it too because he's short. He'll automatically be cut off. I don't know how tall he is, but I don't even think he's 6 foot.
Making an immediate impact. But there were still a couple years left to go before he left JUCO behind and started to make his name in the NCAA Division I program. Even in this aspect, Tominaga mirrored Steph Curry, who didn't attend junior college, but did play at a lesser-known college team because the major colleges weren't really sold on Curry's abilities. Just as Curry had to earn his stripes the hard way, so did Tominaga. But neither seemed to complain about it. Instead, they embraced this challenge and came out looking golden. In his freshman year, Tominaga averaged nearly 17 points a game while shooting 54.9% from the field and 47.9% from point range. Tominaga earned first-team All-North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference honors and was named Conference Freshman of the Year because he led the conference in three-point shooting. The Curry years were really starting to shape up, and Tominaga was just getting started. In his sophomore year with the Rangers, he set a school record for career three-pointers with 139 and was named North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference Player of the Week.
I bet you he wasn't even starting.
3-5 record, but fell short of the ultimate prize as they lost in the semifinals. Tominaga averaged 16 points while shooting shooting 51% from the field and 48.7% from
Bro, that's a
three-point range
crazy
in the sophomore.
percentage from
He also
three.
showed improved playmaking ability and was named to the NJCAA Division I All-Tournament team and was the recipient of the Charles Sesher Sportsmanship Award. Earlier that year, Tominaga has signed a letter of intent to transfer to the University of Nebraska next season, and that's exactly what he did next.
People be like, who the fuck's this cunt?
One of the things that's special about Steph Curry is his ability to elevate his teammates, not just through his play, but with his energy too. That infectious energy makes it a joy to play with Curry. That seems to be true with Tominaga, at least that's what his coach Fred Hoiberg believes.
Well, there's a lot of things that we feel, especially the way Casey is playing right now, to put a full season like this together that can really enhance, his professional career.
And all you really have to do is tune into a game and watch the bench when Tominaga hits a deep three. Almost the entire team is on their feet celebrating with Tominaga. That shows he's really beloved by his team, and they want him to succeed. This might be the reason why Tominaga has exploded since the turn of the new year.
Bro, that's tough.
After navigating a few injuries, Tominaga is back to averaging 17 a game while shooting 47% from 3. That shot accuracy is second in the Big Ten among players who attempt at least 6 per game. Japanese Steph Curry indeed. And it seems that he's been studying Curry. What makes Steph really dangerous in the NBA is not only that he can hit deep threes efficiently, but he can take guys off the dribble and finish around the rim with the best of them. Tominaga seems to be on this path as well, as he's been driving to the basket more than ever before and finishing at a high clip. He's transforming from just a shooter to a highly efficient scorer right in front of our eyes.
I'm a shooter myself, so I don't really give a lot of credit to a lot of people, but he's probably the best shooter I've played.
Part of that developmental credit has to go to Tominaga's time with the Japanese international team. Number 2, international success.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about.
Steph Curry, he's a hero in Japan.
Tominaga has been representing Japan on the international scene since 2018. At that time, he competed in the Under-16 Asian Championships and led the team in points and efficiency, so it seems like the writing was on the wall early on. Tominaga not only kept his scoring going as he aged and faced better competition,
Fuck, he looks small.
He didn't drop either. In another tournament, Tominaga had a Steph Curry-like explosion, scoring 11 points in 2 minutes to help bring the team back into the game and eventually to a win. It was a no-brainer that he would be called up to represent the senior national team as well, and represent he did as he scored a game-high 18 points in his senior debut and even led the team in scoring while hitting 5 threes a game. Tominaga also played for the national team at the 2022 FIBA Asia Cup.
Bro, this means this guy that just loves to hoop. Like it's not about like titles and shit with him. He loves to hoop. If he's playing a 3-on-3 as well as international for youth and men's, this guy just wants to hoop.
Losing to Australia, Tominaga did help Japan reach the quarterfinal stage for the first time since 2015, and when the lights were the brightest, Tominaga stepped up and dropped 33 points with 8 threes. Tominaga was also selected to participate in the Japanese 3-on-3 basketball team for the 2020 Summer Olympics. He was the youngest player to represent Japan in the tournament, and although
I have a couple of friends that have played for the New Zealand International 3-on-3 tournament. If you enjoy those pickup runs, those pickup games, like just 3-on-3 comp, I highly suggest you get into it, especially if you're young, because man, they like 3-on-3 is gonna be there's a future in 3-on-3. Like companies, there's some guys who can't play 5-on-5. That's a legit thing, and if they got money, bro, I bet you they'll invest in making 3-on-3 big. And if you can get your foot into that door, like that's tough. And I feel like eventually it'll branch down to 1s. I don't know about 2s because 2s is like pick and roll central and might get a bit boring and repetitive. But 1s, 3s, 4s doesn't have a ring to it. Those two basketball industries could blow up.
Though Japan lost, he ranked near the top in
Three's
scoring,
already
1-point
started.
shooting, and 2-point shooting, so it's safe to say that Tominaga has a place in the Japanese roster for years to come. However, the real question is whether or not he has a place in the NBA. Number 1. What his future holds. It's every young player's dream to play in the NBA.
They ain't saying shit about his height.
All of his hard work and determination has led him to the precipice of achieving his dream. If you go by his coaches, Tominaga is exceptional on fast breaks, can hit threes without hesitation, is a high-level driving kick guard, and has unlimited range with a quick trigger. That pretty much spells out the modern-day guard. He is often compared to guys like Steph Curry, Trae Young, and Damian Lillard because of his ability to shoot and create for others, but also because of his smaller stature. The latter is the main concern when he eventually finds his his way to an NBA dream. And make no mistake about it, he will achieve his dream of being an NBA player because every team needs a scoring punch, whether that's in the form of their starting guard or off the bench. Tominaga has already proven with his time on the Japanese international team that he can efficiently come off the bench and provide instant offense. So a team is likely to take a shot at Tominaga when he's done with his college career. Now, his prolonged success will depend more on his maturation.
The fact he's a lefty is
Likely to be
tough.
targeted by opposing teams, which can limit how many minutes he gets. Otherwise, he could secure himself a role like Seth Curry, Steph's younger brother, who is smaller in stature and is viewed as an instant bucket off the bench. But make no mistake about it, Tominaga will join the likes of Hachimura and Watanabe and become another Japanese-born and raised baller to represent his home country in the NBA. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell and...
That was cool. Oh shit. That was actually pretty cool. Keisei Tominaga. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm actually gonna go follow him on Instagram and all that, and just like follow his journey. I always do this with players. If you have any players, please suggest them, so I can learn and just follow their journey too. Thank you so much if you've watched this. Cheers.